Now, again, I still think you dusty, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't think you him at all. I think you very
And I
much.
still think I'll beat you the up, but that's my
See what I'm
personal
saying?
opinion.
See what I'm saying?
So you calling me out my name? You not being
Hold on.
disrespectful. You not call. You calling me out my name? You could just talk without calling me name.
You emotional. I listened to you say every single thing that you wanted to say.
Fresh. So now we know.
Yep.
Now we know Myron Gaines the bitch nigga.
We're doing a show, bro.
So step the fuck outside, you old bitch
All right,
nigga.
come on in.
Who's running your fucking mouth, right?
Come on in, bro.
Of course you want me to come
on in.
Because you's a fucking pussy snitch.
Okay, exactly.
You a police calling ass snitch.
Exactly. That's why you ain't coming in.
The world knows.
Don't do it, man.
The world knows.
Allende.
I would preach. You ain't gotta worry about the nigga.
Yep. You're literally trying. Yo, you're committing a crime right now, bro.
Look.
You're committing a crime right now, bro.
Look, you got a rapist talk about crimes.
Oh shit.
You got a rapist talk about crimes.
Look at this guy, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I wish a motherfucker would come to my door. I wish a motherfucker would come to my door. Mario, you's a bitch and we all know.
Come on in, man. Come on in, then.
You got a gun?
Come on in,
You
bro.
think I'm afraid of a gun?
Okay, come on in.
Just need a gun for that ain't.
Come on in, then.
Remember that.
Come on in.
You talk about my man, my husband, all the time. You call him names. I've never once said anything about you.
I think he a beta. I don't switch up for nobody. I don't switch up for nobody. Not one person.
You a
That's right.
you a
Yo. I was in Chicago.
Hey, we just having conversations. Hey, we just having conversations. Chris, we just having
I was
conversations.
just in Chicago.
Hey, we just having conversations.
I was just in Chicago.
We just having. Let's just have conversations,
You
y'all.
sure? Hey,
Let's just have conversations.
Sure
Hey,
You better control. You better control him.
hey, we just having conversations.
Because you're a mum. That's why you're a fucking mum, bro.
Oh my.
You're lucky we're in there. I'll smoke you myself, you dickhead.
I ain't about to sit up here on some whole shit just because you up here trying to make it. No, for real, man. I'll beat your ass, G.
All right, y'all.
So he started dancing around with the gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, "Oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you," waving his gun around and dancing.
You want to watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips.
But he's a fucking imbecile. You absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here.
Because crazy is not knowing what you're doing.
You know
I know exactly what I'm
You're
doing.
just willing to go further than most people
willing
are.
to go further than most people.
That's why I always say don't fuck with people if you don't give a fuck less than they do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta give less.
So that's why I be arguing with people and I be like, you got 3 kids, leave me alone. I'll meet you at the daycare. You know what I mean?
Well, the verdict just came in a few minutes ago, and Taxstone has been found guilty of manslaughter in the fatal shooting of Ronald Banger McFadder. That's the bodyguard / friend of Troy Ave. Now, incident went down back at Irving Plaza back in 2016 at T.I.'s show. Darrell Campbell was convicted of killing a man and shooting 3 others during an attack and a deadly confrontation in a packed New York City music venue. And this is by way of Mr. Alvin Bragg. He said, in addition to seriously injuring his rival and killing his rival bodyguard, Mr. Campbell shot innocent bystanders and put hundreds of lives at risk.
I've been places where I question if God even existed. I've seen things where I question if God existed. If you're not willing to go as far as him and you got stuff to lose, then you need to let that beef stuff alone.
So I'm not with nobody, cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody.
I want to address this, and hopefully the content creators, especially male content creators, understand what I'm trying to say. And I'm gonna use an old clip from the Brilliant Idiots. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a young man named Taxstone. Taxstone used to be a podcaster. He is a certified street guy who is currently in jail and on trial right now against Troy Ave, the rapper from New York, for a shooting that happened back in, I believe, 2018 or something like that. But when Taxstone was out and he was starting to get his legs in regards to his podcast. I used to watch his show, and I also found him from the Brilliant Idiots podcast. He did an interview with them, the first interview where I found out who Taxstone was. So this is a message that he was trying to explain to people that try and start problems with him. So let's listen to what Taxstone has to say.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with the word crazy. It's like
No,
Tupac and Juice.
no, but here's the thing.
Crazy.
No, but here's the thing, because Dave Chappelle had a good point about crazy.
Because crazy is not knowing what you're doing.
You know,
I know exactly what I'm
You're
doing.
just willing to go further than most people
to
are.
go further than most people.
That's why I always say, don't fuck with people if you don't give a fuck less than they do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to give less.
So that's why I be arguing with people, and I be like, you got 3 kids, leave me alone. I'll meet you at the daycare. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't have 3 kids. Where you going to meet me?
So listen,
Riverside, motherfucker?
So the reason why I played that is because I see a lot of beef going on in these YouTube spaces with grown men. If you're not willing to go as far as him and you got stuff to lose, then you need to let that beef stuff alone. You have men out here like this that don't have any problem with coming up to your kid's school and starting an issue. He went on to say that, hey, if I got a problem with you and I see your wife or your girlfriend on the street, I'm going to punch her dead in the face.
I feel like, if you have issues with somebody and somebody's going to do something to them, you attack their home first. So, like, if I find out, like, you want to do something to me, I'll make sure I'll punch your wife in the face when I see her.
Yeah, they really piss him off.
Because you got to think about it. If
He's got to go home to that every single
night. If the wife comes home and says,
yo, Tax punch me in the face.
You have an issue at home.
Yeah.
You don't just have an issue with me.
And you got to tell your wife, I can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
Tax is crazy.
So you have to explain that to your wife now. Now your wife says, I got punched in the face. What are you going to do about this? And he's like, I don't know.
Now she got to go home. She going to tell you, hey, Taxstone punched me in the face. What are you going to do about it? If you're not willing to go as far as him, y'all need to leave that beef mess alone. We are content creators. We are not thugs on here. So that is my advice to you. I mean, I've seen probably more than the average person. Like I said, I've been in 3 combat tours. I've seen it all. So all this beef stuff that y'all trying to do and you talking tough on these panels with each other and saying, I'm going to come meet you and I'll beat your ass, all that type of foolery, y'all need to end that stuff now. Because it's too many people out here that don't have nothing to lose. And if you have something to lose, and if you have a family, you may be putting them at danger as well. So you need to rethink your position. Make sure that you are trying to be as cordial as possible. You can agree to disagree. You can have a discussion. You can argue. But all that threatening and all that foolery that I see on social media, y'all need to end that shit right now. Because life is too short. I don't have time for beef. I don't have time for issues. Like I said, I protect my peace. I block you. I'm not going to respond to you. I'm not going to do any of that. So no beef. Leave that shit alone. If you're not willing to go as far as a guy like Taxstone, then you best, keep your mouth shut. That's not to anybody in particular. I'm just giving advice as a 43-year-old man who has seen enough to know how shit can play out. I've been places where I questioned if God even existed. I've seen things where I question if God existed. So, if you're a straight-laced guy, leave that beef stuff alone. That's my advice to you. Go ahead and make sure you click that link, get you some Teach Hanley, and support the Medium Man YouTube channel, and also support Teach Hanley.
Peace.